Hello? Hello, everyone? I need a little bit more light. You, right one. Yeah. Left one. Yeah. That's what it is. Hi. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. How's everyone doing? It's good to be back in the kitchen. And we got Samo with us today. He is possibly in a rush. Can you just like wait 2 seconds, please, so we can do an intro? Like, he literally thinks he's just gonna start cooking as if he's never been around for a stream before. Anyways, Samo might be going flying today with one of his really good friends that is training to become a pilot, but they're currently waiting to hear back from the control tower. Apparently they can't fly over the city today, and there's a couple other stipulations. So he's supposed to leave in about an hour from now if he does. So we're going to bust out the cheesecake really quick together with him. And then he will leave us, maybe. And then we'll make the rest of the food together. And he will have that when he comes home later. But yeah, we're super excited for his friend Mitch. And hopefully I'll be able to go out one time with them as well. He's almost at the point of getting his commercial license. Yep. Very, very proud of that person. Okay, so here is the menu for the day, my wonderful people. Welcome in as well. Kimmers, thanks for being first, as always. We had Bonk in here with us second. Hi, Michael. Hi, Yet It Is. Hi, Bob. Guys, Bob and us, we had some fun yesterday playing some supermarket together. Not sure if anyone was sneaking on our messages in Discord yesterday, but that was a blast. Absolute blast if anyone ever wants to join us. It's very easy to join the game. Okay, so menu for the day. Sally's Baking Addiction. No bake cheesecake. Absolutely delicious. You can top it however we want. The thing with this is you should plan out to be able to make the cheesecake the day before you plan to serve it. So we're going to make the cheesecake today. We're going to let it sit in the fridge overnight so that it gets nice and firm so that we can cut into it and taste it tomorrow. And then we just have to decide what we want to eat on top of it. Caramel, fruit, compotes, literally you can go with whatever you want. And then to go for our main course today, pan-seared coho salmon. I bought a nice side of salmon. I actually got it for like free, I guess we can say, with the grocery store points that you accumulate when you buy things. So that was awesome for like 9,500 points instead of spending $22 on this side of fish. And then butternut squash gratin, because it is squash season, my beautiful people. Let me dig it out. I bought these on sale last week, 99 cents a pound, and then I saw their sale this week is $1.99 a pound. So they've already tacked an extra $1 onto a pound for squash. So I'm glad I bought a couple last week. I would have been paying double this week if I didn't do that. Hi, Gearbox Man, welcome. How are you doing this weekend? I think we've made butternut squash gratin before. But we did link a really good recipe. I'm excited for that. It's covered in cheese and breadcrumbs and baked. And then just some simple corn with lemon herb butter. I was going to get corn on the cobs kind of last of the season, but they were already moldy in the store and I wasn't paying $8 for moldy corn. So I just got some frozen corn instead. And then we can make a lemon herb compound butter together to go on to that. Hi, Greek. Welcome in. Cheesecake? Yeah, we have your attention. So Samo has gotten right to work. And did you even show them what you're using yet? He is doing something crazy. We found these at the store here. Maple cream Oreos with real Quebec maple syrup, even though they don't like taste really like it. And so he just separated the Oreos so that he can put them into the crust. Maple Oreo crumbs into the crust, and then this is gonna get whipped into the cheesecake batter part. You don't want to put the icing part into the crust if you're gonna make cheesecake. I tried that once before with the pumpkin spice ones to make a pumpkin cheesecake, and the icing just made the crust a little bit soggy with all the sugar content, so that's my only stipulation there. And then we're just going to bulk the rest of that out then with some graham crumbs. Doing something fancy today. The other really good crust to make for cheesecakes is Biscoff. If you've never tried it, definitely try it out. I know they sell big packs of Biscoff cookies at Costco now. You don't have to break the bank. Who in chat has had a no-bake cheesecake before? Are you picky about cheesecakes, guys? You've had it, Bonk. This is a recipe that Sam discovered when he was a baker and breakfast cook once upon a time. Remember when we were in the camp and we went to the one ice road maintenance camp where we both kind of took on different roles there to be together? So at that camp, he ended up being breakfast baker. And you guys know Samo. He says he's not the best baker, but I would like to think otherwise now. And this is a recipe that he chose to make at that camp. There was about 60 people there. And it's pretty easy to start with a no-bake cheesecake versus a baked one, where you can run into things like cracking. Whoa! A little warning, bro. No warning at all. He likes to scare the waifu. I know, I was on the other side of the computer, like chatting, not really paying attention. But yeah, so then we'll make this no-bake cheesecake, and the easiest thing for us to like finish it with the sauce was always the just like pre-made buckets of different pie fillings. Usually cherry and blueberry were the most popular that everyone likes. That thing is so hard to open. And then that's such an easy way to top the cheesecake, and then you're done for the day, right? But yeah, if you want to make a caramel sauce or like chocolate sauce or ganache to pour over top, you choose what you want. Hello, Desabotage. Blend those damn cookies. Maple Oreos and honey graham crumbs? Yes, please. If you guys want the recipes, you're just coming in, !recipe will bring up all of the recipes we're using today. You prefer New York cheesecake, but yeah, we'll eat them all. It's true. I'm not that picky. I think one of my favorite toppings for New York cheesecake is cherry. So delicious. It has to be like a little bit tart too. But there's lots of different cheesecake variations. One of my favorite ones, or a couple for fall, is obviously pumpkin swirl and then apple crumble topped baked cheesecake is very good. So now you're measuring out the crumbs. You're gonna measure out the crumbs. One nice thing about Sally's baking addiction recipes is that she gives us measurements in cups and tablespoons as well as grams if you just want to use a scale. A lot of chefs and bakers are taught to use a scale. It's actually called scaling. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go scale this recipe real quick. And so you get everything that you need measured out before you start the recipe so that when you go to make it, it goes really nice and quick and then you don't forget anything.
No, I just want to make cheesecake Greek.
It's not a cook with Sam redemption. We just had cream cheese in the fridge to use up, and as well as the graham crumbs in the pantry. And Sam just felt like making cheesecake. Yeah, turtle cheesecake is insanely delicious. And then another really good one I've had before is like you whip peanut butter into the cheesecake and it's like a Reese's version with chocolate and stuff. Whoa. We just get blessed with an extra Samo stream, which I thought you guys would totally enjoy. Your mom used to make a baked chocolate swirl cheesecake. Num. Num, num. Trying to think of any other crazy cheesecakes I've encountered in my life. I like the Oreo icebox one. That's usually pretty light. You're done with that? Where it's like a lot of whipped cream kind of folded into the cheesecake mix. So it's a lot lighter. And then if you freeze it, it changes the texture of it too. We could go on and on. So yeah, some graham crust recipes will have just graham crumbs and butter.
What's the guess on the butter weight?
What's the guess on the weight, guys, for the butter?
I need 113 grams. I'm going to say this is like 136.
Okay, let's see. 141, and he said 136. Boom. Boom. You have to test yourself as a chef. It's like, do I still got it, guys? He still got it. Okay, so we're going to melt the butter now so that we can mix this all together, and then we're going to press it into the tin. If you want, I can help you press it into the tin so you can start the next step. Up to you. He says no. Are you going to put parchment on the tin? Just on the bottom. And this is I believe last time I measured it, it was a 10-inch springform pan is what we want for this. Most cheesecakes are made in a springform pan for ease of getting them out later on. Doesn't matter whether it's bake or no bake. One nice thing about this, though, is we don't have to wait for it to bake. We just have to wait for it to set. And then we don't have to set up a water bath or anything like that. If you want, the scissors usually work better. And yeah, this springform has seen some stuff. It's almost time to get a new one, I think. This was a hand-me-down. But usually I'll wait for things to actually break until I'll get something new. So I find that if you get the new thing first, before the old thing breaks, you'll just use the new thing. I don't like when things just sit around. And yeah, it's nice if you trim up the bottom like that. And then the only other thing I'll say is when we go... Well, I guess since we're not baking it, we don't need it on a sheet pan. But it might make a more even surface for you, carrying it around and stuff, right? Instead of always trying to pick this back up. I'll leave that one up to you. This cheesecake is definitely better if you can use like vanilla paste in it, or at least just real vanilla extract, because there's not really any other flavors in it. It's just vanilla flavored dairies. The other reason I really like this one is because it's not super sweet. Like, there is sour cream in the batter for it. Really, really good. Would you like me to take out that stuff now from the fridge for you? Okay.
Go and grab your iPad and pop this one.
Okay. Turn the music up a little more. Okie dokie. Artichokey. He said, get gone, Kate. Kate gets the morning off. I have to think about how we want to top this. Did you have stuff in mind, Samo? He just likes the cheesecake, guys. He doesn't even need anything else with it. You could even go as simple as something like jam to eat with it if you're feeling lazy. Whoa. I don't know what it was. They're racing, though. Temporary stream name. No Bake with Sam. Chef Samo at your service. Davenport says there's nothing wrong with plain cheesecake, Samo. I mean, it's true, though. If you make it right, nothing wrong. Now he's getting attacked. Is it still really quiet today, guys? Hello, sound? We have an Annie in here, I see. That's a bit loud. I know, I don't like yelling over the music. How's Annie doing today? Welcome in. Okay, let me read all these subbies that you gifted to the channel. And wait. Twitch gifted 4 subs too? How does that work? Hey, Annie gifted Retired Canuck, John Works 2017, Chase 1963, we know them. Boofa Lobster 666, Gotti is here, Beer Not Babies, Emia 2, Ruby Arch, Vanicor, and Johnny Rodden. We know him. And then Twitch, thanks Twitch, we can say, gifted a sub to a lovely Ellen, we know them, Jenny Becca, Scooby384, and Halfway Alive. How cool is that? Whoa, 10 plus 4. Ah, on the last day of September, Twitch is adding subs when you gift them. That's amazing. So guys, last day of September, get them in. Thank you so much, Annie. I'm gonna come over for a sec. Yeah, a whole bucket. 1 piece of chicken for every sub. Hi, I'm here. Sam was making cheesecake with everyone and he told me to go away for now, so I said sure. Twitch just using it as tax write-off. Okay, so we pressed everything into the springform pan and now we're going to let that firm up in the fridge while we make the actual part of the cheesecake. All of the dairies. Time to get whipping. Yay, Scooby, you got a subby. You've been playing the hell out of the royalty DLC for RimWorld. Samo says wicked. He's been getting back into Satisfactory. And then we also got back into Supermarket together last night. And we had a Bobberoni appearance. And we also had an attempted cookie appearance, but his laptop crashed when he tried to load the game. You wish you had a Windows machine? Me too. You guys need to get a deck, hey Samo? They all just need to get a handheld because it's so easy to plug them into the TV now. And then you have a big screen computer. I know he's been really enjoying that. Both Satisfactory and Supermarket together are windows or steam only. Dang. Side load windows, he says. Yeah. Do you guys hear that? Okay, what's our next step here, guys? I'll read it out for us while Samo's reading it on his side. Where the heck is my Discord on here? The next steps. Oh, also, Annie, I wanted to say what you were telling us about what happened where your dad lives is crazy. That's crazy. That's so scary. I've been trying to stay updated with some people I follow on Instagram too, and they're over by that area too in the States. And holy, the videos this morning. This one girl I follow, her entire town, there's not even one power line that's left up. So if anything runs off of electricity, like, you're done for, right? Can't get in and out because there's so many down trees. I said it's one thing for tornadoes to happen, like where we are, that's a high-risk thing. Luckily, not too many bad ones this year. But, like, when you add water into the mix with a hurricane, nuts. Hi, Scoots. Welcome in. Yeah, the river gauge at Fletcher, 30.3 feet. Normal is 4. That's so scary. Okay, I hear the plane is taking off over there. To make the filling, using a hand mixer or stand mixer fitted with a whisk, whip the cold heavy cream into stiff peaks on medium-high speed. It'll take about 4 to 5 minutes. Set that aside. Hi, boss man. How are you doing? A big ooh for sure, pal. Your sister was just there for a wedding 2 weeks ago? And yeah, your dad can't leave it in any direction. Pal, you had 7 feet of rise there? Guys, we always think about you. We just want everyone to be safe all the time. Very true, Bonk. Yeah. One tip. When it gets close to being finished whipping, definitely don't go anywhere. Because you don't want to be making butter. I get to be the beater cleaner today? Yeah. Woohoo! It's just whipping cream, but it's still nummy. So far, we're having a good day, boss man. We went for a walk today, this morning already. Went to the store and grabbed a few things for the rest of the weekend for streams. And that's pretty much it. That's good, Annie. You've had rain, but nothing too crazy. What? What is even this statement? How can you call yourself a professional chef while you're using a spring form in autumn? What even is this question? I'm confused. Please rephrase. Rerouting. Rerouting. It's not spring. How upset. I was waiting. Everyone's gonna get pissed. And I knew there was a joke to it. That's why I didn't get mad. It's gotta be a fall form pan. Taste sabotage. I think we can all just do this. Just relax, guys. It's okay. I said relax, guys. It's okay. Don't worry. Samo's got this. It's dirty, he says. Yeah. That's what you get, desabotage. How is it looking, guys? Need to press play. Is this with bananas? So this is what he did, Annie, because I think, yeah, we separated. We took maple Oreos. We found maple Oreos at the store. There might be too much stuff in the garbage now. Maple cream Oreos. And he separated the middle, the icing out from the cookies. Blitzed the cookies up. And then just bulked the rest out with the graham crumbs. And then he mixed the maple icing into the cheesecake batter. I've also done this before with the pumpkin spice Oreos for making a pumpkin cheesecake, and it's insane. He says it's... Look at his face!
That sour cream is so much better.
Of course it had to be maple. You know Canadians. We'll seriously try anything maple. Because I think our favorite thing to do is be like, no, that's not maple-y enough. Or, no, this tastes fake. We're harsh critics of maple. And so it said real Quebec maple syrup on it. So we had to try it. Probably better using them up in this method than to just eat them plain, hey? Because we felt they were a bit lackluster just eating them on their own. And so this part of making the filling, it's actually really important that we don't over mix this either, and don't mix it at high speed because we're... Is it? Yeah, but not yet. Not yet. We're just trying to, like, blend all the flavors in right now. And then after, we're gonna mix it, and then you just watch for it to get aerated.
Maybe you won't have to go like Kate Annie.
And then I'll say after this, remember, we still have the whipped cream stiff peaks to fold in as well. There's methods to this madness. You're doing jury duty on Tuesday? No! I saw someone here on Reddit got posted to jury duty, I think on the same day as well, actually. And they're like, how can I make $20 on that day doing jury duty? Like, that's not even a full day's of pay, right? From work. So they're like, probably not gonna go. Yeah, just get out of it. I forget what I had going on last time that I had to call them and get out of it. But luckily I already had something. I was like, phew. Hi, Crazy Alice's. How are you doing? We are whiffing it up right now. We're making a maple no-bake cheesecake. I guess I should have called it maple no-bake cheesecake. So I guess with this now, we don't really need a topping. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I never got the mail. Pal. Meanwhile, your mailbox is just full of mail. We're doing good over here. The weather's pretty nice. It's been pretty quiet here. I'm enjoying the weekend. That looks so good. Why are we saying racist things? That's a quick way to get banned here. Be careful what you wish for there, bucko. That one won't be on me. You take someone and say stuff to them, that one's up to them. Don't be fishy. How do you say that? Facetious? No. Facetious? I can't say that. Facetious? How do you say that word again? Yeah, just don't do it, guys. Not the place. Facetious. Facetious. There we go. Some things are hard. And obviously that word, one of the hardest, because I don't often have times pronouncing stuff. It's hard Greek, trust me. That's not what it is. Stop saying it like that. Facetious. That's amazing, pal. Davenport, I know better than to come to stream without snacks, but I failed today. No. Yeah. Samo baking day? That's the worst day to forget snacks. Guys, word of the day. Facetious. Don't say it 5 times fast. See? You're welcome. That's the one. Okay, now I gotta see what's happening over here. I've been away for too long. I cleaned the beater. Success. Samo's in the folding stage. This could be the most stressful stage of the cheesecake making. You don't want to take all the air out that you just whipped in. Pal, did you post a video of how to say it? So we put the crust in the freezer. I didn't know it went in the freezer. Just to, like, blast chill it, basically. While you whipped up the cheesecake batter. And now it's time to smooth it all into the pan. And then we don't need to line the sides or anything because tomorrow we'll just run a knife around the edge before we release it. And that'll be no problem. Freezer Tetris. We might have bought 8 chickens earlier this week, pal, and broke them all down because they were on sale for a really good price. So now the freezer's full of a lot of chicken. But I can't beat $2.79 a pound for protein, where most of the time it's like $6.99 a pound for any meats here. And chicken wings. Yeah, we got a whole bag of chicken wings. I butchered them up into wing pieces, and then bone-in legs, breasts, and then I took all the tenders off and separated those. There's one just full bag of tenders. A chicken curry would be amazing right now. Yeah, we're getting into that season. What about hot dogs and soda? I actually don't really have any of those things in the house right now. Okay, that's actually funny, Crazy Aussies. It kind of fits that my stream froze just as Sam opened the freezer. And the macaroni. Oh yeah, chicken wings, hot dogs, and bologna. I got ham, not bologna. Does mortadella count as bologna? Chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies. I just hear this thing going round and round. It sounds good. Does it look good, guys? You need this in your life? Lefany? You just made that in like 30 minutes. Guys, he made this in 30 minutes. Just wanna say, doesn't take long at all. Okay. He's just gonna wipe the edge. That is an important part, otherwise it gets like hardened on and is hard to clean off after. So wipe your edges before it goes to chill overnight. Or at least I think she said for like 6-8 hours. Sammy's quite the chef. I wouldn't mess with him. That's for sure. Okay, so now we're gonna wrap this all up nice and tight. Say, Samo, thank you for your services. And then tomorrow on stream, tomorrow's Schnitzel Day with Samo as well. We'll be cooking together on stream. Because Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest starts in September. You guys know that? What? Oh, you put the sour cream or cream cheese lid on that? That's amazing. I did mess with him, it's true. And now look at us. Now we're married. And it's awesome. I said, don't mess with him. He's quite the chef. It all worked out, Bonk. How do I want to wrap this? Usually I go like underneath and then over for this spring form because I find that the plastic doesn't really stick on the metal. Retired Canuck. You're pretty handy in the kitchen, Sam. I mean, he only has 5 more years experience than I do in the kitchen. Whoa. Mmm. That's nummy. Where's the channel point redeem for Sam to do the Macarena? Oh no. That's good. And he says, what about this? Thank you for the 499 bits, Annie. Sam always says he can't dance. So he wouldn't do the Macarena. We are completed. And now the most stressful part of the day is where in the fridge can it live? Macarena isn't dancing. It's just regimented exercise. Scoots, he crushed this. He crushed it. Round of applause, everyone. That is Sally's no bake cheesecake. This is Samo's no bake cheesecake. Oh god, the whole sink is full of dishes already. No, it'll have to go on. I can't. That's my one stipulation. I can't listen to the dishwasher during stream. It's a crowd control exercise. Boom, back of the fridge so it's hard to access. So then you're not tempted when you open the fridge every time. You don't look at the cheesecake. Okay, we're gonna just give this a wiperoo on the board.
I don't guarantee nothing.
What do you mean you don't guarantee nothing? Oh, that it'll still be there tomorrow? Oh no.
I don't guarantee nothing.
That's why they do it at the robotics competition. That's why they do it. I'm excited for cheesecake, guys. Mamo. Okay, cleaned up just like that. Amazing. Okay, so we didn't really look at any of the other recipes before. Samuel just needed to crush that because he might be going flying today. Oh, look at this. I got nothing. What is going on right now? That was from before. We're getting into it again. Okay, we're back live. Are we a half hour delayed? I don't know anymore. I'm still here though, and that's what matters. It should be on all of the scenes because I created just one scene on Stream Elements now. So all of the other scenes are the same. I have no idea what's going on. Mish says 1 bit. Hi, bye from Netherlands. I'm sure she can't talk that much. They're on the road, but fun. Please eat a stroop waffle for me, thanks. Okay, let's get into our other recipes. A drive-by biddy. Just throws it out the window. Pell, have you seen the truckers on TikTok that throw this stuff to each other through their windows? The best. She came in to ruin the even bit goal. Yeah, because look at it. It's at 5:01 now. Okay. Cheesecake recipe completed. Thank you very much, Samo. Let's check out our butternut squash gratin and the restaurant-style pan-seared salmon. A bit hole? I love that emote. Where is that from? A-Tray? Oh no. The report from Sam's friend Mitch, who is the pilot. He says chaos in the circuit today. Report from the airstrip. So I don't think anything's happening. Yeah, the DoorDash driver must have gotten lost delivering the chicken wings. All I got was macaroni. Okay. Butternut squash gratin. This looks insanely good. The weather Greek? No. No, there's like, I guess they have gliders and stuff, taking off, stuff like that today. So it's just a little bit unorganized and not a fun time to go up with your friend, right? And be safe. Okay, this is what they say. This recipe was also updated on March 11th of this year, but it was in 2019 they made it. I like when people do that. They don't just like make the recipe and then that's it, even if it doesn't really work. Like when they update it. So this butternut squash gratin is a lot like a scallop potato casserole, except it's made with a winter squash instead of spuds, along with onion, garlic, butter, heavy cream. Did you use all the cream? He used all the cream. Okay. Cheese and breadcrumbs. A simple and simply elegant side for Thanksgiving, as well as a random weeknight, it says. scroll it down. They say this is a simple yet under-heralded approach to consuming everyone's favorite fall vegetable. Is this everyone's favorite fall vegetable? I would probably choose carrots over squash, but that's just me. But yeah, I thought this would be a nice, like, not as starchy version of scalloped potatoes, and especially since squash was on sale the other week. So prep time 25 minutes, cook time only 25 minutes, total around an hour. 4 to 6 servings. We want a 10-inch baking dish. So does that mean a square? 10-inch baking dish. Or last time I just did it in the bread pan, and that was good. Sam says normally when they just give you one measurement, that means it's round. Huh. I'll let you guys decide. Okay, we can also look at how much squash we use and kind of judge it by that. 1.5 pounds, about 1 large butternut squash. You'll say squash is your fave? I guess, right? Because there's actually a lot of different types of squashes we can use too, which are really yummy. Like the different squashes can be used in different ways because some are starchier than others. Okay, I will probably just make 2 small pans worth rather than, because if I try to do it in the Lloyd pan, it will be too big and spread out. So we'll just stuff it in these 2 instead, and that will be fine. It's pretty simple to do that in 2 different pans. Usually you just slice your veggies, stack it in there, and then you pour your liquid over. But let's read through and see. So in a large saute pan, heat your butter, add the onion and garlic, cook until softened. They add the butternut squash slices to the pan and cook it for 5 to 8 minutes. We're not doing that. You guys love when I say that or what? Oh, sounds good, Davenport. Thank you so much for being here first thing, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Sounds really nice what you're going to. You just picked up some butternut squash this past week? Yeah. I mean, I'm going to treat this the same way that I make scalloped potatoes. Like I said, you do all your slicing of your veggies, have them ready to go, and then you have your liquid that you pour over top it with your breadcrumbs and cheese, and put it in the oven like that. I would be scared to cook the squash in the pan and then bake it again for fear of it going too mushy, right? Because squash isn't starchy like potatoes are, where they would hold their shape, let's say. Squash will really start to fall apart quick. So I guess I'll show you a different way to do this. But yeah, then it says, once it's in the baking dish, smother it with the cream, sprinkle your breadcrumbs, scatter your cheese on top, put a couple nubs of butter on, and then you just bake until it's golden and bubbling through. Yeah, unless you put potato starch. One thing I was thinking of doing, if they don't have it, is maybe between the layers of squash, we can do like a little bit of sifting of flour. That would be one thing that would help it be more like saucy and not as soupy in the end. But yeah, maybe if you can't use wheat flour, you could use tapioca flour or potato starch. Try it out. I'm not really too sure. Okay, let's make a little listeroo. That is the longest process today, is the gratin. So I would like to start assembling it, at least have it ready to bake. And that way we can kind of judge when we have around 30 minutes left of everything else. So I'll say gratin, squash, dairy, and the flavorings. And then I always just like to write down my timings and temps. So 30 minutes. And let's see the temp on the oven. They just say 350. I'll probably go a bit higher because I like a little bit of browning on top of mine. You could probably go up to 400 max if you have convect. But I'll go 375 Fahrenheit from 350. You've used sweet rice flour as a replacement for flour and in a roux, and it works great. That sounds good, Annie. That sounds really nice. Because it would still come out like nice and smooth, right? Not gritty. Okay, there's that, guys. And then our salmon. Why don't we get into that next? We'll just have to cut it up into 4 portions. I'll just say portion it, and then it's ready to go. And then we'll season it before we sear it in the pan. And then we'll probably be finishing it in the oven with the gratin at the same time. I typically like to just sear my salmon on each side and then finish in the oven, kind of a roast to get it cooked through. Okay, and then lastly, our corn. So yeah, the corn on the cobs at the store today were all moldy, and I wasn't paying a premium price for that, so I just got frozen corn. So we can just steam it, I think, or boil it, blanch it, however you like to cook corn. And we're gonna make a lemon herb compound butter. I thought that butter would also go good with the salmon, too. Let's get into it. Squash time. This is a pretty big squash too, so we'll see even if we use it all. Typically, I'll just cut this main part off first, deal with that, and then I'll save the like seedy part and see if I actually need to use it or not. We gotta peel this. But yeah, I will cut this off first before we peel it. And usually where it becomes more bulbous is where you have to cut the seeds and stuff out. So I always try to also choose a butternut squash that has like a larger top piece, right? Because this is all usable, whereas this is actually like hollowed inside. Pro butternut squash picking tips. See, there's a little bit to scoop out, but not bad. Yeah, it's really nice and fresh too. You can tell, like, as soon as you cut into it, it starts getting juicy. I will also say, though, these juices are gonna make your hands really sticky. So I usually try to process the squash quite quickly. And it'll probably need 2 peelings around. As you can see, the first peeling just gets the skin off. And then I always try to peel underneath this green layer that you can see there. Because it can be a bit bitter if you leave it on. And it gets quite slippery when you start to peel it too. You can see it's getting wet. So just be careful. Ah! Ooh! Just goes flying across. That was crazy. Gotta like use my fingernails to hold on to it. Ooh! I'll try and put it down. But then it's harder to peel it. Help! The squash is crazy. Okay, so see all that green stuff around still? We're gonna take that layer off too. I can't get it. Samo, it's too hard. I don't know what to do. Maybe if we go like this. No, I still can't. Help, guys! We need help! I'm gonna do it half and half instead of one long peel. It seems easier. stand it on the cut end. Then I'd have to, I guess now I can peel it away from myself and go up. But it was hard to peel down if I did that before. One thing about chefs, we don't give up. We just gotta find a better way to do the thing. There we go. That looks way better. Hi, Emia. We were blessed with a bunch of gifted subbies today. Hi, Jessie. What do I need help with? Oh, the squash is really slippery when we start peeling it, and I literally couldn't like hold on to it as I was peeling it. It kept flying out of my hands. And I don't have like any fingernails to even stab into it to hold on. It's a funny feeling. Hi, Dave. Evening all. Oh, butternut squash. We took 5 chunky squashes from the allotment today. The butternut squash variety or something else? Nice. Look at how dark that is. Yeah, we need the grippy gloves. I guess I could use my cut gloves because they have a little bit of the like rubber grip on the palm. Okay, so from here, I think we will cut this in half. You can see how I cut it angled. And go down slow and controlled. And then, up to you, if you have a mandolin, you could use that to slice the squash, or you could just cut it with your knife if you feel comfortable. What did they say for thickness? Sliced between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 inch thick. So that is quite thin, right? You might find it easier to use a mandolin, but I don't know. Squash is quite firm, right? So it might actually be better just to go slow with your knife and do this instead. And don't worry if some of them are a little bit thin. I will say better to have it thinner than thick. A mandolin. I need to make one of those. And I do think it's easier if you keep it all lined up like this too, kind of how as we cut it. Then it's easier to layer it into the pans after. You picked butternut squash? They take up so much space and just go mental and grow everywhere. That's so awesome though, dude. Because squashes are so expensive to buy, right? They weigh a lot. Okay, now we're getting to the end, so just be careful. See, like that? I kind of knew that was going to happen. That's why I went slow. Okay, we're going to move this. And all I'm going to do, because this is scary, is just do this in half. And then slowly back through. Don't do anything that you think you might hurt yourself, though. Okay, let's do the other one. Squash is not for you, pal? Really? Maybe you just haven't had the right one yet. Who in here has ever had delicata squash? That's a squash variety that you can eat the skin as well. That's one of my favorites ever. But it's really hard to find. Unless, like, a farm is specialty growing it, I guess. FCB! He made it! FCB is alive and well, guys. Good to see you in here today. Okay, careful near the end again. Gather all this back together. Overwinter onions and garlic. Yummo. You had a full-blown argument with the ash tree this week. It doesn't live any longer. They have it at Wegmans close to you? Lucky. I haven't seen it anywhere here since we left BC. It's just like not a thing, I guess. Makes me sad. We should get the boring squashes in. Okay, let's see how much this fills the 2 pans. And then we have this other bit if we want. Look at how much juice is coming out of there since we cut it. Crazy. It's like glue. What do you guys think? Should I, as I layer, should I do a little bit of a flour sprinkle in? I think I want to, and then also at the same time as we put the squash in, we should season it in between the layers with salt and pepper. And then after, we just pour over the dairy that was steeped with onion and garlic. And I'll probably throw some thyme in there too. I use this sifter. The hand-me-down. Just put it on a little plate on this side. Yeah, I don't think it would hurt. Like, I'd rather it be not too loose of a sauce and make everything else watery. Don't need a lot of flour. Just a small layer. Like, that should be more than enough for everything. 2 tablespoons worth. Alright, maybe it is smart to put the really thick pieces on the bottom. Like that. Try not to overlap those large ones too much. We'll start on this side. And then we just kind of shingle this as we go along. We'll kind of cover some of these pieces over here that are peeking through. And you just go back and forth like that until you get one layer. Smallest little bit of seasoning. You're gonna come a bit closer. I think before I do flour, I'm gonna do one more layer. We'll do flour on every second layer. I want to do the corners. See how I flipped those to get it right to the edge? Boom. And then that to seal the other edge. And now we can go back the other way. Nice. So do the same thing here too, actually. Do like that. And then that. It really doesn't have to be too perfect. Just try to keep it even horizontally, I guess. So one side's not like way taller than the other. That's really it. Just like that. Okay, keep going. I think we'll just divide each half of the squash per pan. It's looking really nice. Put this underneath here. We needed to bulk it up a bit more. There. like, don't worry about it being too uneven either, because gravity will take care of that as it bakes. Don't even fret. Let's get a better one than that. Okay, just a few more pieces for the top layer. And then after we do the next one, we'll get the cream and everything ready with the garlic and onions. I'm gonna also flour this layer a bit too, since it's almost done, rather than flouring the very top. And now just kind of like fill everything in. Probably won't be perfect. We can also take a couple from this if we want. Like that. One more small season, and then we'll put this aside. Do the next one. That's not gonna be super thick. It'll probably bake down to like 1.5 inches or so. I think that will be easy for serving. Just think like the thicker that you make your gratin, kind of the messier it is to scoop out of the pan. And yes, we used to have like a designated Kool-Aid jar, Annie. Like a plastic Tupperware container. I'm sure like most 90s kids did. Samo, did you have a designated like juice jar? Oh, they weren't allowed Kool-Aid. Fair enough. I mean, makes sense. He's more European raised. Right? All the sugar we consumed back then. I freaking loved Kool-Aid. It's not like we had it all the time, though. It was more like a treat in the summer. Do we have to do the other bit of squash? We might. We're almost out of this one. But this one's layering way nicer. Now we'll do a little flour sprinkle on this one. It works so good. Okay. So that is that for this. Back to the squash. Who would have known? That's okay though. Just get another spoon. And we'll scoop that out. It was deceiving. Also, I'm gonna scrape off this crazy squash juice. Otherwise, it's gonna like, make my hands stick together. Sometimes I do that. I'll match like what I wear on stream to the food we cook that day, Annie. Today was one of those days. No one usually comments though. So good job noticing. Because we're also making salmon, right? Which is orange too. What's happening? Okay, now we're scooped out one more time. Gotta peel the rest. At least we have like something to hold on to here, so I'm gonna have to peel it this way instead. Across. I know like once you get it started, it's not so bad. smallest little flecks. This might be a nice variation if you're someone who makes like sweet potato casserole around the holidays. You could try this version instead. Nice. This is going way better. Hi, Kermit. How is your weekend going? Okay, there we go, guys. Let's trim off this end. I'm gonna cut it in half, actually, before I trim that. It was too scary. So now we have a flat surface. Yet again. Okay. Depending on your squash, it might be a little bit difficult to cut it in half moons when it's hollow like this. I'll let you decide. Sometimes it's a bit flimsy, so I would suggest just cutting that in half that way. And then going back across. One more. Did we finish the cheesecake? We did. Samo did a speed run on it because he was possibly gonna go out flying with his friend today this afternoon. So he was only gonna be around until like now-ish. So he finished it in like 40 minutes. Greek, I will also tell you, like, this is actually my knife to me not being sharp. That's gonna be coming up too, I think, is another knife sharpening stream. It's time. Especially after doing those 8 chickens this week. Okay, now for trying to fit this into the pan. I am going to cut this. You could do the same with the other ones too. Just really where it's curved. One sec. I don't know why, but my nose is just running. Being annoying. Okay. These look so small. Yeah, don't stress out about like how you layer this in here. I just try to put enough so that you don't really see the layer underneath, I guess. That's what I try to do. We've been seasoning in between the layers, and then every second layer we've been doing a layer, little sprinkle of flour. How do I want to get that one in there? Maybe like that. A wedgedly. Instead of allegedly, it's a wedgedly. Is that actually it? I actually got the joke for once? Yes. We're making progress, people, let me tell you. Whoa, I floured the squash too. Don't worry, It's okay. Okay, where are we at on this one? We might be able to add one more layer. Let's see. This is us finishing the top of this one. Let's say. The final pieces. No, that doesn't fit good. And then it's still gonna get all the liquid poured over and then cheese and breadcrumbs on top before we bake it. Just cover these with a bit more. I'm gonna sneak this little piece in here. It was kind of low on that end anyways, actually. Okay. One final season. Now, onion, garlic, milk, and cream in our life. Any fruit on the cheesecake, or is it plain? Right now it's plain, but I will say we did something a little bit different with it. With the crust and the filling, is Sam used maple Oreo cookies. So use the cookies in the crust, and then the maple cream filling in the cheesecake itself. So it has some maple flavor to it as a starting point. But yeah, other than that, we haven't made any toppings for it yet. We'll be trying it all together on tomorrow's stream. So hopefully you can be around for that. It has to sit in the fridge for quite a while before you cut into it so that you can actually get a proper slice. Otherwise, you'll kind of just mush it together. Cheesecake's your favorite dessert. This recipe is the best one out there for no bake. And yeah, like I said, it took Sam about 30-40 minutes for him to make it on his own. The only thing I helped with was tearing parchment. So if he can do it, everyone else can too. Let's just put those there for now. I'm gonna take a peek at the recipe again. Okay, in a like medium pot, I would say. Not large saute pan or Dutch oven, because we're not cooking the squash in there. So now we're gonna steep the dairy with some flavorings. I don't like to put onion and garlic in with the gratin or scallop potato, but I like to steep those flavors into the milk and cream. It adds some nice sweetness. Got a lemon mixed berry cheesecake from the grocery store. Yum. Was it good? Okay, they said 1 whole onion for this. I'll probably do half of an onion. Some garlic cloves. You haven't tried it yet. Oh, deadly. Or should I say, what are you waiting for? What should we do? 5 cloves of garlic for the 2 pans? I think that will be good. Done with that. We can just smash these to peel them easy. Did you guys know this? That the finer you chop or mince your garlic, the stronger the flavor is. So the more whole form that you leave the garlic clove, the less pungent that it is. I found that interesting. having to trim weird, like, dry bits off of the garlic cloves. And then the onions, we'll just slice, we'll julienne them nice and thin. I find that works really well for steeping the flavor into dairy. So let's just cut a wedge off. I'll cut this side that's actually not that nice. Like that. Can't get in. That onion is so dry. Just like that. You don't have to go anything more fancy. Just rinse your knife. And then we'll get our milk and our cream out. Get that on the stove top. They did say to saute this a little bit, so maybe we will do that part of it, guys, before we add the milk and cream to it. Add like a little bit of oil or butter to this. Let's just go over to the stove top since we're gonna heat it and steep it anyways. But that's not the pan we need yet. Let's do this. We'll turn it on to medium heat. It's a little dark, so I'll turn on the... Oh. I'm going further than that. There we go. I love how good that works. Okay, choose whatever type of fat you want. Butter, lard, olive oil. I'm gonna be crazy and do a scoop of chicken fat from what I strained off of our stock that I made the other day. Because that can't be bad. There's so much flavor in schmaltz. Okay, while we wait for this to heat up, let's measure out our other things. And then we might still have to grate a little bit of cheese too. Did you know that chefs and physicists have a lot in common, Kate? I don't know if I like how this light is. It's a bit too bright. The other one was better. Are you going with a joke or are you actually being serious? Chefs and physicists have a lot in common. We both like using ramps. I haven't used ramps actually in a long time. Thanks for bringing those back into my life. Okay, we're already sizzling back there. Better go quick. It's getting crazy. Let's bring a measuring cup. It's smelling good already. Just get some more of the fat mixed in. Chicken fat with onions and garlic. Okay. Get that garlic clove down there, closer to the fat. Yum. Okay, onion and garlic are gone. Another thing I will sneak into this pot right now, since I just remembered, is just a couple of sprigs of thyme. We don't have to strip it off of the stem. But when we add our dairy, we'll add a couple sprigs of thyme into that pot. Half a cup of heavy cream. That's it. There's no milk. Half a cup of heavy cream. That's it. Okay. Give this a stir. Guys, do we honestly think half a cup of cream is going to be enough? I don't think so. There's a reason I sprinkled the flour in there, so I'm probably going to add some milk to this too. That sounds a little crazy. I would say double it, maybe even triple it. Let's do 1 cup of cream. For a whole squash is what they did. Like, we have 2 huge pans worth. Because the thing about when you make gratin is you want the liquid at first to like almost be covering everything, and then slowly it just cooks in and reduces. Getting a little bit of browning on the onions. It's going good. Turn it down now. Okay, we'll go 1 cup of cream. And then 2 cups of milk. So we'll have like 3 cups total of liquid. I guess if this works today, I'll just type this out and make my own butternut squash gratin recipe. That's way easier. Okay, we don't want to let this stuff get too dark. So I keep kind of babysitting it and stirring it, but a bit of caramelization on the onions is always good. Still working your way through this satire you made on Thursday. What is this? Do I know it? Okay, I did turn the heat down a bit just so it didn't start burning on us. That's looking pretty dang good. We'll have a bit of this color steep out into the milk and cream, but not too much. It's a Croatian dish. Calls for red peppers, onions, and tomatoes, basically a stew. Is there any protein in it? Okay, guys, ready? Going in. And then we'll let this come back up to a boil / simmer. Steep those flavors in. And then we just strain that out when we pour it into the gratin dishes that are ready to go now. We made our life easy. I'm just picking 1 bad sprig of thyme out of my container. And I'll put a few sprigs into the pot. Let's do those 2. Quite large. And I turned the heat back up on that pot too, so it won't take forever. Okay, it's a side dish. So what else have you eaten with it then? Alright, coming on back. Where are we at? Gratin, squash, prepped. What does that say? Dairy is prepped and the flavorings. Awesome. So that's going to bake at 375 Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Also, just want to show you guys what I meant when the liquid or juice from the butternut squash gets built up on your hands. Can you see like these little crusties? I don't know if you can. But there's like a film that builds up when you deal with butternut squash. It feels so weird. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, we'll put our squash pans on the side. I'm gonna put this flour away. I guess we could also pop the lid on, we'll go quicker. And then I think we'll get the salmon out and portion it next. And then we'll make our compound butter. This isn't a very difficult dish today either, actually. Hi, Mickey! You did the steak, mashed potatoes, and peppercorn sauce, and you added the cheese? Did you make it just for you or for your parents too? That's awesome, dude. That actually makes me so happy when you guys cook what I make on stream too. I love it. Okay, come over. I'll get this salmon, and then we'll get our big cutting board, and we'll cut it into... Usually this fillet, I cut 4 portions from it. And so this is some of the, like, highest grade salmon I can get here. And I only can get this in frozen, like this. There's a better angle. So instead of me paying the $22 for it, I got it with my grocery points, Save on Foods points, for 9,500 points for free. Not bad. Considering a pound of butter is like 4,500 points, right? So getting a whole side of salmon is gonna go farther. It's smelling so good. Holy smokes. Yeah, even though we're so close to Alaska, right, Annie? Like, still paying that much. So this is sashimi quality, and it's coho salmon. So this is a type of salmon that I'm used to eating. It's better quality than sockeye, but it's not as good a quality as, like, king salmon or spring salmon is that I've fished for before. This is like middle of the road, but still really nice and fatty. And it's not gonna taste too fishy either. And yeah, this actually comes from Chile, is the origin of this. But this has been the best quality salmon that I've been able to find in the city, at least where I've looked. Okay, it's just starting to come up over here, our dairy, and we don't really want to boil the milk too much, right? On our dairy, so I'm going to stir that and then take the lid off. And we're just going to simmer that for, like, let's say 5-ish minutes. Set a timer. Okay, we'll get our boning knife out. Just want to use my kitchen shears to open this up. And so this comes with, I didn't show you, but it comes with the skin on, which is my preferred way of cooking salmon. Because you could always just take the skin off after it's cooked. At least that way it stays really nice and moist when you cook it. It's not going to be dry. And we'll see if this needs a rinse. Sometimes there's quite a bit of scales still left on the fish itself. Always try and rinse those off before we cook it. And then we'll also feel for the pin bones. But look at this color, right? Like this, I can't find any Atlantic salmon here that's not farmed. And I just don't like buying farmed fish anymore. I'm really ruined after living on the coast. So your pin bones are going to be around up here. But yeah, this company does a good job of taking them all out. I think I've only ever had one bone so far of the 4 fillets I've used. So that's good. And then all we need is our boning knife. You can trim this off if you want. I usually do, just to kind of clean up the fillet as well. So let's say I'll like start up here, even this part out, and like these are just chef snacks because they'll cook up pretty quick in the pan, right? At least then we get a little taste of the fish before everyone else does. And then we can even out, this is all the belly. This is where a lot of your like higher end sushi will come from. We can go a little bit too far. There, that's better. And this is really fatty here. And you can see it's quite thin, right? But since it's fatty, it doesn't often get overcooked. So I'll try and kind of like match it up so that the fish keeps a natural shape. Oh, I gotta do one more slice through. And yeah, you might have to go through a couple times because of the scales on the skin. Your knife doesn't really want to go through. So there's that. And then if I was being really picky, I would clean up this top edge too. But I'm not serving this at a restaurant, so I'm not going to go any further than that. One of your friends in grad school did his fieldwork in Afognak Island in the Aleutian Islands. Brought back some smoked salmon, was the best you ever had. I wonder what they smoked it with, right? Okay, so your like longest piece is always going to be the tail piece because it's so dang thin. Like, look at that. It's like barely any meat there. And so if we want all equal portions for weight, you have to go more in from the tail there. I usually cut that piece first and then kind of gauge every other one around that. Or you can put just like a line with your knife before you cut it. Go like that. Yeah, that'll be good. So you don't want to press too hard in. See how it's spread out, holding the fish as we cut through? You don't want to press your fingers into the fish. It will leave a mark. And then from here, we'll just transfer all of that onto a plate. This is our cross section. Really, really good quality. And then we'll just season them right before we cook them, so we don't draw out too much moisture from the fish, because it's not a very thick fillet. Like from, let's say, compared to salmon that I've caught fresh from the ocean, I think my 25-pound spring salmon I caught, the fillet was like twice this thickness. It was almost 2 inches thick. It was a really big fish. He caught it himself, Annie, and had someone smoke it there. Fresh fish, you can't beat it. From wherever it comes, lake, ocean, river, you honestly can't. I don't want to get my hands dirty again, so I'm just going to use a spatula to transfer this onto the plate. And there's our timer done for steeping the dairy for the gratin. So this is called a fish spatula, actually. Ooh, we have room for that tail piece on here. Just. Oh yeah, and our other little pieces. Okay, one more small plate, I guess. Don't forget about the belly. Woohoo! Okay, bring that over to by the stove. Done with the big board. And this is how this is looking. Mickey, you put Worcestershire sauce on this steak too. Did you like it? Would you make it again? Okay, so this is how this steeped up. Or simmered, let's say. And now, if I taste this, these flavors should be in the milk. Let's see. Mmm. It honestly works so good. Even the thyme. It's like sweet and herby. So now that we're gonna pour that over the squash, let's turn our oven on to 375. Get it heating up. Bring our squash over. And then I'll try and strain from there, from the pot, right into our squash pans. Will it work? It might be a bit risky. It might be scary. Let's not make a mess. And then another thing that will be helpful for this, like any other baked casserole, is always put a sheet pan actually underneath. I'm just gonna do this before we pour the liquid too. That way if any of it runs, it'll just go on the pan. Easy. Okay, we'll just strain that into a bowl for safety purposes. You bought apple crumble to go with it and now they're too full. I hate that feeling when you're too full. Oh shit, what am I doing? Mickey distracted me. Being too full. I was supposed to put the strainer in. That's why I often just eat small portions all the time. It's like when I'm too full, I can't think straight. That's what we got. I guess you could like save this stuff for something else. Up to you. Yeah, right? You get so sleepy when you're full. It just takes all of your energy away to digest stuff. So funny. Okay, guys. Now, we'll pour that over. And then we still need some cheese grated. That's okay. We'll pour this. You've never thought of this? This is like a pretty typical trick when people make scalloped potatoes. Try and divvy it up. And because we separated this into 2 pans instead of 1, I'm gonna say this will cook quicker this way with the smaller portions. Let's see. Okay, that's good for liquid. You don't want it swimming in the liquid. Usually pour it to about halfway up the veggies. But if you think about like the little half cup of cream that we were supposed to use, that wouldn't have been nearly enough for 2 pans. 1/4 cup of cream in each one? That's crazy. Whoa, that's all we have left? Okay. We'll use up the marble and then we'll add some Asiago cheese. Guys, where's the box grater? I see it. I see where the Samo put it. Increased surface area. Right? Work smart, not hard. So cooking is physics, right? We always say that, like cooking and baking, there's a science to it. There is. And chemistry. And Sam says biology too. Because you need to like know the anatomy of an animal if you butcher it, right? So this is going to be a creamier cheese, and then we're going to mix it with a salty cheese. They used Comté cheese, which is a pretty funky cheese. I'm going middle of the road. Something that's melty as well as something that has good flavor. The Asiago we're going to do on the fine side of the grater. Move that over. Remember the days of Swiss chard? I do. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Just like how much food we got out of that garden every summer. Especially now with how expensive veggies are. I really have the itch to get back there. But I don't think that's going to happen very quickly. Oh, I do have this actually. Which we're gonna probably do tomorrow. Samo ordered these for us. I'm so excited for this winter. So we'll set up the arrow garden. That's like the most amount of gardening that I can do here. And then we won't have to pay like $4 for a pack of herbs from the store. We just pick them ourselves. And then whenever there's too many growing, then you have to pick it and dry them. Mickey, you guys had lots of rain yesterday. We had like one random freak cloud in the afternoon that like dropped some crazy big raindrops for like 2 minutes, and then it was blue skies again. I was like, what is going on here? Oh, you were gonna paint, but it's raining. Yeah, you can't paint when it rains. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but not the smartest choice. Okay, let's get these all mixed up together now, and then we'll bring our squash pans back. Always rinse the box grater right after I use it, otherwise the cheese tries to get stuck on. And then if you put it in the dishwasher with stuck on cheese, it'll just bake on even harder, like cement. I'm just gonna mix them on the board. I think we're supposed to do breadcrumbs and then cheese. If that's the case, I'll just quickly grab the breadcrumbs. Sprinkle with breadcrumbs and then scatter the cheese. Okay. They're over here. If I can remember right. Yes. Guys, we're using HelloFresh breadcrumbs. This looks like about half a cup worth. Just Italian seasoned breadcrumbs that I didn't use before from a box. We'll sprinkle that evenly over the top. It's nice that they're seasoned, that way it's not going to taste bland on there. And let's also say if you didn't want this, you don't have to put it. 'Cause I know some people are weird about breadcrumbs on their stuff. But I think being mixed with the cheese, and because this isn't very starchy, I think it'll be really good. Is this gonna be insane? I think so. I have high hopes for this. Make sure you get your cheese all the way to the edges. Really important. Okay. Make sure we get enough for this other one, and then we can distribute whatever's left over. We're gonna have a perfect amount. Just might have to take a little bit off of the other pan. I didn't measure it, guys. I just eyeballed what I thought it would want or need. Oh, looks good. Ta-da! Okay, butternut squash gratin. Ready for the oven. What do we have left? We have to make some lemon herb compound butter and just boil some corn. That's easy enough. And obviously cook the salmon. I'll wait for this oven to come up to temp. Let's get out some butter. We have to get that softened. And then what? I already have some herbs chopped here, so we'll use those. I was thinking a bit of tarragon, a little bit of thyme fresh in there too. And then our lemon. So we'll zest the lemon and use a little bit of the juice. Just get a small bowl and we'll soften the butter. And then get these herbs chopped, the lemon zest and juice, and mix all up. Ori-san, thanks for the follow. I hope I said that right. I know I always think they call it estrogen. Tarragon. Do they have the French one on this? Oh, they do. They do. Estragon. And then look at thyme. They just took the E off. If you ever want to learn French, come to Canada and work in a grocery store. That's how I knew like so many French food terms before I started cooking. Because my first job was in a grocery store. And all of our labels in Canada for food are bilingual. Okay, just go really small increments to get this softened. We don't want it melted. I mean, it might reharden in the time that we get everything cooked. But I'd prefer not to separate and melt the butter if possible. I think it changes the texture of it once that happens. Microplane for the lemon. I'm peeking because I couldn't see longer. Be too bright now. this soft enough, guys? It might not be. It just started to melt, so I got scared. I think we can do maybe 12 more seconds. I seen the melting, and I got scared. What's everyone got going on this weekend? We've been slowly catching up after the streams, watching The Bear. If anyone in here watches that. We're making our way through season 2 so that we can watch season 3 that just came out recently. Okay, that looks good. This butter. So the softer it is, the easier it will be to mix everything else into it. This butter is like weird. Maybe this is the stuff that they've been putting palm oil into. Whoa. Did you know that guy might ride a motorbike? Karaoke bonk, and then I saw that you went to the Anderson Paak show. Fun. One of my favorite artists. What is going on here? Where did this butter come from? You finally finished Dark Matter on Apple TV. Is it good? Would you recommend it? You played with the doggos, Mickey. That is always fun. I turned the lights down too much. It was really good plot rating. I do appreciate that always. Okay, see how this is like soft, but it's not melted or separated. Perfect. So this, green onion and chopped parsley from yesterday. We're putting all that in because green onion and corn is really delicious together. So there's 2 herbs right there. We'll use a little bit of the thyme. Great show. I can only imagine. What is going on with the bottom of this bowl, you guys? Is there a crack in it and the butter's coming out? Yeah, I can only imagine how good that was live, bonk. Kind of jealous, honestly. So we're not going to do very much of the thyme in this butter because it's quite a strong herb. Just one little sprig like that. And then same with the tarragon. I don't want it to overpower everything with its strong flavor. So we're just doing a really small amount. Do I know this song, Green Onions? No. That's an actual song. He's from Oxnard and kept mentioning how happy he was to do a hometown show. That is so cool. Booker T and the MGs. That's who does the song Green Onions from the 1960s. Okay, chop up these little bits of herbs. Guys, we didn't hear the oven beep yet, right? In all of this craziness. I don't think that we've heard the oven say it's ready for the gratin. It could have been quiet. It's true. It's usually a pretty prominent beep. Like that. Heard it enough times. Tarragon. Basil would be amazing in here too if you had basil. Even mint, I think, would be delicious with everything with the corn. I'm the same, Mickey. I think I so appreciate like older movies and music than what is created these days. I never get bored when I watch the older movies, and like their sense of humor back then is so me. Okay, next. I always wash the lemon before you zest it, and this one, it's seen better days, which is why we're using it up. But yeah, a lot of citrus fruits are coated in wax before they go onto the shelf, so always give it a good rinse and a wipe before you zest it. Back to the Future, you can watch over and over again. Yep. Hey guys, I'm putting them in. Putting the squash in. It's probably going to take a little longer than 25 minutes. Let's see. I'll set 15 minutes. And maybe that'll be the halfway point. The trilogy bonk. I mean, yeah, if you're going to watch one, you got to watch them all. I have seen those vegetable washes. Does he, like, notice a difference using them? If I'm being very particular, you can do a mix of apple cider vinegar and baking soda. Excuse me, usually works really well. And is natural, right? I don't know what's in those veggie washes from the store. He's very OCD, so he would find a difference, yeah. I always think, like, out of all these years I've been cooking, some of the things were not washed, right? No one's really gotten ill. There's definitely a time and a place for everything. That's a good amount of lemon zest, though. That's gonna freshen it up. But remember, we can use some of this butter on the salmon as well. That's why you get along with him. Hi. How was your Beat Saber session? Annie saw a Beat Saber session once upon a time. We streamed it, I think. Hi, Luminology. Squash gratin? Check out the recipe I've linked. I will admit I didn't follow it to a T because it was kind of weird to me, but it looks amazing. And it just went in the oven. Otherwise, I would have shown it to you. We're gonna juice only like half of the lemon. We don't want too much acid in here. And then we'll mix this, add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then see how it tastes. Squash is in the oven. We'll check on it in about 15 minutes. And then we can start cooking the salmon, probably. It's just a simple boil of the corn. Who in chat has made compound butters before? They're good for meats, bread, veggies, all sorts of stuff. I've made quite a few different variations in different restaurants that I've worked at. You, Bonk, what type did you make when you did? Yeah, what? We have no cameras in the oven, Kate? Come on. One more sprinkle of salt, I think. I guess, yeah, Annie, you said the quantities in the recipe I linked were scuffed anyways. That's kind of true. Like, half a cup of cream would not have been enough, I feel. Okay, let's see how this is. So in there, parsley, green onion, thyme, tarragon, lemon zest and juice, butter, salt, and pepper. A little taste because the fat will coat your palate. The salt with that just like draws out all of the flavors from everything in there. That's gonna be delicious. And because I want to use it right away, and like I'm not cutting it to present on a steak or something, we're just gonna leave this in the bowl and at room temperature. Because as soon as we put this back in the fridge, it's gonna go rock hard. Once we use it though, I'll show you how to pack it up in the fridge so you can keep it for a longer period of time. Hi Carsis, how's it going? Let me pack up this lemon. And then we'll set up our corny station for boiling. Compound is where you melt or clarify and then mix it with things, yeah? Yeah, usually you just melt the butter. Some people will, after the butter is softened, they'll whip it. So it's really nice and light before you mix in all your flavors. Yeah, the fanciest one I've ever made was a reduced red wine compound butter with like shallots and stuff to put on top of a steak. I think we've also made a blue cheese butter before, and that is pretty good. Don't sleep on that one for steak either. You'd be surprised. Honey butter is always good. Yeah, just a simple garlic butter even to have in the fridge. Dollop of that on rice or something goes a long way. And as you can see, that only took me like 5 minutes to make. Mickey, you guys had frost this morning? Ah! Winter is coming, we can say. Let me ask Samo how much corn he wants. How much corn you want? Not that much? A cup worth of corn? But you don't need extra portions? Okay. I can probably get away with boiling the corn, guys, in the small pot. This little one, so I'll just fill it with water. We'll put some salt in it. Just leave enough room for the corn when you put it in, that it's not gonna overflow. Not too bad, Carsis. Picking away at some work, thinking about cheesecake now and possibly a hot chocolate. Yes, please. Mickey, first time ever you had a coffee when you had dogs out in the garden? Like first time ever for frost you're saying this year? That's pretty early. I know we're getting down to like around 4 degrees Celsius, but no frost yet, thank gosh. We always season the water that we boil vegetables or potatoes or pasta, really anything in. Don't leave it bland. And then let's measure out our frozen corn. We'll do 2 cups worth or so. Maybe just this big. What do we got going on? Do you guys ever keep just like a bag of mixed frozen veggies to have on hand in the freezer? Sometimes it's just really easy to heat those up quick and have a veggie munchin if you don't feel like roasting anything. Not mixed veggies, but always just like the frozen vegetables like green beans, different stuff like that. Okay, let's pour this out. It's already coming out. It can thaw just a little bit while we're waiting. And then I guess we'll go over to the stove and start to get our pan set up for the salmon. So the salmon's gonna get seared and then finished in the oven. Oh, frozen broccoli. Nice. I always forget about frozen broccoli. Frozen peas are always money. We need more light in our lives. I don't like that angle. It was better just like that. Move out of the way, spatula. That works. Okie dokie. So this is where we're gonna cook our salmon. I usually just use olive oil when I pan sear my salmon. You can use whatever you want, but I do like the flavor of the olive oil with the salmon. It's rare that you don't have a bag of mixed veggies for soup. Or yeah, you use it for dogs. Give it to the doggos. I like that. I didn't turn that pan on yet because we still have a little bit to go on the gratin, like 4 minutes on the timer. But since we're here, we'll season all this up. Look at how nice that looks. It's almost time to start cooking. Yeah, those look amazing in that view. And I only ever season the one side of fish. And yeah, these fillets aren't too thick, so be sparing on the salt. Salmon is a bit more forgiving though if you do put too much salt, just because of the fat content in it. Compared to just like a flaky white fish, will taste much more salty. What brand is this plate? This plate is from our roommate. He ordered them, and I think he just ordered it off Amazon. And these are called this. Stone and Lane. Can I get close enough? No, it's too bright. Stone and Lane. I'll write it in the thing. But they're pretty nice too, hey? It comes with these plates, big plates, small plates, and some bowls. They spelled Lane like that. Okay, we still gotta pepper these while we're waiting on the gratin. And then we'll see how it's cooking along here when we check it. I'm just gonna use a paring knife to poke through the squash and see how cooked it is. The easier your paring knife goes through the squash, the more cooked it is. I'm hoping for it to be around halfway or more at that point. You're on the website? Nice. Not just on Amazon. I almost forgot to season our little like belly chunk over here too. Don't forget the salmon belly. Okay, there's that. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, guys, while we're waiting on this. There's like a minute left on the timer. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hi, it's me. I'm back. Did you find anything good on the website, Annie? That's our timer going off, by the way, for our gratin. So let's come back over. And I'll just kind of check it right in the middle over here on the stove top. I forgot that we had a big sheet pan, so I won't do that actually. Okay, stuff is bubbling up. It's looking good. They also have like just a white version of the plates that Wayne got. Nice. Okay, still like crunchy in the center, but the other stuff is getting nice and cooked. I think the other one that might help these go along is like in the past, I will always cook scalloped potatoes or gratin with foil on first to kind of steam it. And then you take the foil off at the end to brown it back up. Or you can just broil it at the end. So I think I'm just gonna go tear a little piece of foil, tent it over those two pans to help those veggies cook through easier. Do not underestimate the power of steam for a casserole. Yeah, the plates are microwavable and dishwasher safe. So really easy to take care of. Like I assume most plateware these days is microwavable, but maybe not. Here's a little peek, guys. If I lift this up, you can see them in the back. That's what we got working. And we want to do this quick. There we go. We want those centers bubbling. Okay, what else? What else? Just gotta turn on our corn pot, and that's it. And then tomorrow is Schnitzel Day. We're doing a little Oktoberfest stream. I told Sam he has to drink a beer. Oh, and we're making spätzle too tomorrow. Very excited for that. Gotta go dig out the spätzle press. I mean, we've had a couple of these beers in the fridge, Annie, which Sam said he might be scared of trying. They might be past their prime. Let me dig it out. But there is an awesome German beer back here. Paulaner? Is that how you say it? There's that one. A Munich lager. Cool. And then there's also... What is this? Filthy Dirty? Yeah. From a brewery in BC that we really like. One of our friends used to actually work there for a long time. This is called Filthy Dirty IPA. They have some of the best artwork on their cans. If I can get it to stop glaring with the light. That one's really good, but that's an IPA that's 7.2% alcohol. So that one's quite strong. They say it's time to get down and dirty. The West Coast IPA may be full of filthy amounts of fruity and tropical hop character. So that would be so good then today with everything that we're eating. He should drink this one today. So it has Citra hops. I would say those are also the same type of hops that we use to make our hop salt. And people went crazy over the hop salt on shoestring French fries. It was almost like McDonald's-esque. Really wild. Just blending up dried hops and hop pellets into a powder and then mixing it with salt. Oh, brewery days. Such a wild idea. We did some crazy stuff there. It was really fun to experiment with all the different beers. For sure. Okay, so if we have, what, like 10 minutes left possibly on the gratin, I'm going to say closer to 15 to 20. I guess we can turn on our corn pot to heat up. That will take a few moments. And then the salmon itself, because those fillets are only about an inch thick at the thickest point, those won't take like more than 6-8 minutes to cook and sear in the pan. What were the proportions for the salt? No, not 1-to-1. I forget. Let me ask Sam, because we would always make a big batch, right? Do you remember the amount of hops that we would put into the hop salt? Sam says 10-to-1. He didn't even hesitate the answer. 10 parts salt to 1 part hops. Otherwise, it was too bitter. Like, way too bitter to even enjoy eating. You should totally try it. But yeah, on like fried potatoes, magic. Magical. I think we actually gotta go get breadcrumbs for the schnitzel tomorrow. I forgot. I wasn't gonna be the schnitzler, but then I dropped the ball on the breadcrumb part. Okay, let's go over. we're heating it up. Get our corn over here. And then for plating this all today, I definitely want something with a rim. Just for this saucy gratin. And then in a moment or so, I'll heat up the other pan for the salmon. Need to find a bowl with a wide rim for soups. Like my one that I have. That one's actually Kate Spade brand that I got from the Bay once upon a time. Okay, and then see, I want to show you, like, if you season meat early, can you guys see the, like, moisture that it draws out from the surface of the protein? So that's why we don't want to season way too early, because then you won't get as nice of a sear either. Fish Sheila, ready to go. Okay, 7 minutes on that gratin timer. Let's turn this on to medium-high heat. It sounds too fashionable. They were great quality. I didn't buy it for the name. I bought it for the shape of the bowl. But if you search pasta bowl, I think that's what you're looking for, because pasta bowls are like wide with a pretty high rim, like 2 inches or so. Pasta bowl. Because I know that's what those were. Everyone, have a sip of water. Ah! Oh no! They're right in the fridge. Hello, lovely Wivet. Thank you very much for the raid today and bringing your community here. How was your stream? What did you get up to? Where are you from in the world, if you don't mind answering? I'm from Canada. I mostly cook on my streams. I've been streaming on Twitch since 2018. But we also build Lego. I've done sewing before. And then we also do IRL streams every now and then. So if you enjoy any of that stuff, please give us a follow. And I will also be live again tomorrow, cooking again, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific, if you can't hang out with us today. But yeah, what did you get up to? Welcome in, everyone. We are just waiting. I need one more light on here. Just waiting to heat up our pan for the salmon here, and then our other little pot is for the corn. And our squash is baking in the oven right now. That's where we're at in life. So almost getting ready to eat. Best time of day. Looks like this is almost hot enough. You've come from Shroud of the Avatar, your favorite game, and we do tend to talk about food a bit. It's your second topic usually. That's awesome. Do you like to cook at home for yourself? I mean, if you come here, you guys can talk forever about food. We could go on and on. Might be a little bit splashy when we put the salmon in the pan. Just be aware of that. A little bit of moisture and then the hot fat will often make some splatter. So just go quick. We're going flesh side down first. And also, like, be aware of where you place your fish, because we're not really gonna move it for a few minutes. Give it a nice press down. And I still have the tail piece here. I just can't fit it in the pan currently. Sometimes I'll like swivel this pan around too because my stovetop's a bit uneven. Oh my gosh, Cammy! What is going on right now? Thank you so much. How are you and the fam doing? I'm in shock. Whatever we buy for stream next week, we say thank you, Kame Boko. You're expecting a second babe? That's exciting. So everything went good then with the first one? Just swiveling this. Thank you very, very much. Do you have anything in mind that I should buy next week with that generous grocery donation? You're in a good mood. Dude, thank you for sharing your good mood with us. I think we're almost ready to flip this. If it sticks, it's not ready to flip. If it lifts easy, you're good to go. We're not rushing it either, though. Yeah, that is fair. I know. Life happens. You can't always spend all your time on the internet, right? Although it is a good escape every now and then, we can say. Like, we're always excited when we see people that we haven't seen in a while. And we don't forget about you guys either. Okay, it's not browning too much. That's all I was kind of watching. And usually I do cook my salmon mostly on this side. And then I'll flip it over and put it in the oven to finish. Right, yeah, Annie, like, we've been blessed with your presence, even with school season starting, but when does robotics start? Because we know after that, like, we won't see you until the summertime again. In January, so that'll come quick. Take salmon out, make sushi instead? Nah. Okay, this one we're gonna flip, I can tell. It's crispy. Although we could have made sushi with this because it was sashimi grade. I just prefer to pay other people to make sushi for me. That's one thing that I'm quite particular about. That was satisfying. Okay. Turn that off. Also our timer for the gratin. So now I'm taking this pan and putting it in the oven, guys. To finish. Let's come over here. Move my little area. That's our corny station. But first, I want to check the gratin and see how cooked it is after this 15 minutes again. Okay, I hear some crazy sizzling bubbling now. Whoa! Oh yeah, she's up. I don't know if you guys can see it. There you go. So now we're gonna take the foil off. You can't even see any squash in there. And let it start browning. Your son's asking to play outside. What timing? Go enjoy time with your family. And thank you so much, Kame, once again, for crushing our entire grocery goal for next week. I'll be thinking of you when I go to the store. Oh yeah, the squash is completed, guys. It's completed. I'm switching the salmon to the bottom shelf then. Because the squash might need a broil. It worked. Okay, I'm setting... What? 3 minutes? I'm gonna do 2 minutes for the salmon. And then I'll check it. We don't want it to overcook and it has to rest a bit. Let's see how much corn we can get in this. I was thinking we could fit it all. Nice. Okay, so we're just gonna strain the water out of this pot after the corn is cooked through. Let's put you back down now. And then we'll mix our yummy compound butter in with everything to serve it. Put the lid on so it comes up quicker. Annie, you think you have a sore throat? No. All the students are sick. I'm sure it's like such a stressful time of year, right? Like I remember when I was in school, a lot of people were always sick at this time just because you're like getting ready for a big change in your life again, right? We don't think about that. But some people handle stress differently than others. I'm trying to think of the last time I was sick. Probably when I was working around other people, like you said. Cornucopium? I like it. Make like a fall corn dish called cornucopium. This frozen peaches and cream corn, not a bad product. Really nice and sweet. Okay, 2-minute timer is going off. Let's check out our fish. I would say that's good. Gonna let them rest back here in the pan. I'll cook those other portions of fish after stream. And then we're gonna now switch the oven. Pretty sure. Let's see what this is doing up here. There's still some liquid cooking out of the gratin. But I think if we put the broiler on, it will be fine anyways. Alright, guys. We're almost there. You have frozen corn too? Maybe if you have butter, lemon, and herbs, you could make that. So now we got the broiler on to brown the tops of the gratin with the cheese and the breadcrumbs, the cream. And I'm just waiting for this corn to come back up to a boil. I mean, we really cool it off when you pour frozen stuff in there. I think it'll all time out perfectly. You have fresh parsley? I mean, out of all the herbs, that's probably the least flavorful one. but it does add really nice green color. Just getting some more water in my glass. Yeah, you need the parsley for your Croatian dish. This is looking insane. Your dad's really picky about frozen versus canned corn. He doesn't like frozen corn, but he generally prefers his veggies cooked to mush in general. It's so funny how, like, everyone's different, right? And as much as we laugh at them, it's kind of like mean of us to do. Because you can only like what you like, and you can't help, really, if you don't like it. But for some reason, we always judge those people. For corn, I think I'm usually more of a frozen person, but I always try to have like 1 or 2 corn on the cobs during the summer when it's in season, because you just can't beat that. But otherwise, I won't ever buy canned corn. Maybe because, like, growing up, we would sometimes have creamed corn. And maybe now it's not my favorite. That gratin's almost done. We blame the parents. It's an easy thing to do. Really easy. This is looking insanely good. It looks messy, but good. And I mean, most casseroles are like that. Adding the flour and what we did, I think is going to be phenomenal. We're boiling almost? Almost. I always feel like a little kid when I watch the broiler. It's like when you just sit in front of the oven watching cookies bake. It's a roasted cauli night for you. The veggies we made yesterday, we did roasted broccoli and cauliflower, and then tossed them in sweet chili garlic sauce after. So good. Whoa, I think it's done, guys. It's done. And now we're gonna let it rest. Molten hot and delicious. And our corn just came up too. So how's that for timing? Give it a stir. I'll give it a taste. Good seasoning, and now we'll just strain it in the pot. I'll be back in a moment. We're gonna mix our lemon herb butter in that we made. And then we can plate everything. Good dollop like that. Maybe a bit more. It's so bright. That smells delicious. So we seasoned the water for the corn, so we don't need any more seasoning in this now. Hey, let's come over. You'll take corn in the can or frozen or on the cob. You don't care. It's corn. If I had a toroidal plate, I could call it Play-Doh. Okay, let's back it up. The most stressful part of the entire day is getting into the gratin. Sometimes I find it's quite difficult to serve the gratin and not make a massive mess. But I would say those turned out not bad. Maybe I should have saved a little bit of that chopped parsley to sprinkle over the top after. But I think it's gonna look amazing once we get into the middle of this. So let's see. Get in a spatula. Samo, almost food time. It's corn. It's got the juice. Which one do we want? I'm thinking this one closest to me. So the thing is, you need to like cut through that cheese layer. Oh, it's a bit watery down there, but that's okay. We'll just try and like let it run off a bit when we do serve it. So now this first piece, I always actually serve the other way, going towards the pan. I'm also going to let some of those juices strain out if there is some. I just don't want it to go watery on the plate. Hard to tell with that one, but let's try this next one. Nice. So if I put this to the side a bit and hold it up, as I drain the juices, you guys can see it. Let's go down a little bit. Whoa, that was like really far down. Okay, so when I click the light to go down, it goes down like 3 instead of 1. But that's what it looks like. And yes, it's hot for me to hold on to. It's not overly running on the plate, but not the greatest for a black plate. So I'm going to switch to a different color for the other dish, just to see if there's a difference. But yeah, once we scoop it, the juices don't really run out after. Quite watery though. Like, imagine if we didn't put the flour in. I understand that we added a lot of milk and stuff, but that more looks like the vegetable juices, not dairy. I think next we'll do our corn. Fill in this spot, and then we'll nestle our salmon into it. That looks nummy. This one doesn't look as good. It looks gross on the black plate. And we do say we eat with our eyes. Some interesting colors as well on the plate today, like oranges and yellows. Yeah, seems like too little of cream still. But I need to refine this recipe because I'm imagining that it's going to taste really good. That's the thing. Might not look amazing. I'm pretty sure it's going to taste phenomenal. Okay, so our salmon's been rested in this pan while we finished everything up. And now we should be able to just pick it up out of here and then peel off our skin if we cooked it perfectly like that. If you don't want to eat the skin on the salmon. We just nestle it into there. That's all good fat for you. Don't throw it out. Needs like something red around. If I had like a chili oil or something, that would look amazing. A little bit of parsley left in here. Try and tap it onto the gratin for the photo. Nice. F yeah. Would say that basically finishes it off now. Simple. You could do like a little drizzle of olive oil around if you wanted. That might look really nice. But that's up to you, like if you want more fat on the plate. But you'll see how it kind of changes how things look. And like, you don't put that much on the plate at all. Alright, I'm taking the photo, my friends. Turn up both of the lights for this. We need it. Samo? I don't know if he has his headphones on. Okay. Let's get into it, guys. Shouldn't need a knife. But let's see. Salmon's just glistening. Yeah, other than the juice, the little bit of juice that ran, if we like just kept that part out of the view, this looks good all together, right? It really is bright. Just keep that part. Okay, I'm really excited for this, so let's get into like this kind of cheesy corner. So really easy to cut with the fork. Little cheese pull. There's a little baby cheese pull. That's how it came out. And we didn't follow the recipe at all, really. I don't like the breadcrumbs on top. Even with me seasoning in every layer, we needed more. Yeah, we do. Guys, even with seasoning in every layer, we needed more. The corn hit my footy. Maybe try tapioca flour next time? I need to refine this. I think I've made something similar before, but we cooked them like Hasselback butternut squash. And I think I liked that better. But yeah, I would definitely eliminate the breadcrumbs. They just taste a little bit weird to me on top of there. But I'm a picky breadcrumb person. And yeah, it's like molten hot. Bonk, I know you're a picky breadcrumb person too. How's the fish? Looks a little bit over. It looks a little over for my preferences. I'll just show you guys. When the fat starts to turn white like that, you're getting well done, right? So if I did like maybe Oof, a minute less. But you can see it still just like falls apart, like flakes apart in my hand. So it's not like we overcooked it to the point where it's gonna be gross and pasty and dry. That's really good with the squash, the salmon. Hi, I'm here too. Okay, I'm gonna have a corn bite with the salmon because that's what I thought would go so good together. The herbs and lemon in there. It's so hot. The squash. Guys, anything starchy like this is gonna be molten and potentially burn your mouth, so be careful. I know we like to eat hot food when it's hot, but burning your mouth is a whole different story. The other thing, guys, about the squash, it was really fresh and juicy, right? First of the season. So maybe if you have an older squash, it wouldn't put as much liquid in. One of your friends made a crumble with butternut, squash, and plums. Whoa. But it's supposed to be sweet or savory. Good job, dearie. Finishing it all. I'm gonna have one more bite of salmon, and then we'll look for someone to go raid. She used cinnamon. Oh, that would bring it together nicely, yeah. So it's not like plums are overly sweet. They're almost more like sour sweet. Jesus died for you? Thanks for the follow. He may also save us. At least that's the stickers I see on the cars around here. Ooh, oats. I like that. You know me. I love my oat crumbles. Okay, so what is Stream Elements doing that this scene plays the alerts, but the other scene only plays the alerts sometimes? I'm confused. Hello, what are we doing today? Not my, like, most favorite dish I've ever made, guys. You know I'm always honest about that stuff. The corn and salmon was really good together. The butternut squash gratin needs something different. Sam says the same thing. But like I said, I think it was actually Mish, and thank you for the one biddy, Mish, again. Are we unevening it up? You evened it up, nice. I think it was Mish that posted in our Discord. Butternut squash, was it like Hasselback or something? I need to go look right now. Because I think that's what I had in mind, and that was so good last time we made it. David Hasselback? That's your good night, Biddy. Night. Night, Mishi. Sleep tight. Go in Discord and search butternut squash. Good job finishing the plate, Samuel.
Salmon was good.
Salmon's good with the corn. Yeah, right? Like, we don't get really fresh fish no more. But yeah, I thought I already scrolled through all of Discord. And then I didn't find that recipe. I'm gonna Google it then. Hasselback butternut squash recipe. That's not it though. It was different. Was I just in another reality when I made this? Did you actually iterate Hasselback instead of Hasselhoff? It was only a dream, Samo? Oh no. Okay, who are we gonna go raid? Wow, there's like no one in food and drink today. Nobody at all. What is going on? We haven't raided Chaotic Good Mage in a while. He's always chill to go hang out with. Who's on the follower list? We're gonna go say Chaotic Good Mage. I've decided. He's still on, right? Yes. Coffee and the best pizza in all of Hyrule? Who is cooking without looking from the Yukon? A nod to the Yukon. I saw that. We have raided her before. And I don't know. I guess I just say like it wasn't my favorite place. Fair enough, right? Like we all are allowed to share our opinions. I think I'd rather raid Chaotic Good Mage. It's just like more similar energy and stuff to what our stream is. Thanks, Kimmer's, for being here today. Okay, so we'll be back tomorrow cooking together in the kitchen. Doing a little bit of Oktoberfest cooking with Samo, my German husband. We're gonna make schnitzel and spätzle and a creamy mushroom bacon sauce to go with all of that. And we're gonna reveal the cheesecake that Sam made as well today. So stay tuned for that. I will be live at 11 a.m. Pacific as always. No wild Schweinbraten? What's that one, Annie? Wild Schweinbraten. Wild boar? Oh, I wish. I've only ever had boar bacon before in my life. Okay, so we're cooking that on up. Guys, thanks so much for being here today. Thanks for the raid from lovely Wivet as well. Mish for the biddies, Annie for the biddies and the gifted subs. Cami with the $40 dono as well. I think that's all I got. Love y'all. See you tomorrow. And be safe. Bye.